Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to the Daily Mirror, Paul Pogba has rejected a new 50 million contract offer at Manchester United and is set to leave this summer. Paul Pogba's current contract at Manchester United expires next year. According to Sky Sports, PSG want Pogba. Fabrizio Romano said nothing is advanced between Paul Pogba and PSG. Tuto Mercato Web said the other day that Manchester United are set to receive a €60 million bid from PSG for Pogba. Says Paul Pogba is discussing the personal terms with PSG. PSG have not yet made formal contact with Man United regarding Pogba. Says Paul Pogba is close to reaching an agreement to join PSG. PSG want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. He hadn't only been linked with PSG, he's been relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. His former club Juventus have been in for him. Pogba endured 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Manchester United. Barcelona have been interested in him. It said the other day that Barcelona are working tirelessly on a swap deal for Pogba. He says they're willing to offer Antoine Griezmann and Samuel Umtiti as part of a deal for Paul Pogba. And Inter Milan have been in for him before. He did say not so long ago that a new contract for Paul Pogba at Manchester United could see him stay at the club for the rest of his career. And it did say that Paul Pogba decides to run his contract down and then he'll decide on his future next summer. If Paul Pogba does leave Man United in this summer transfer window, we need to get a good adequate replacement for him. Pogba produced his best performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. He does bring creativity to the team. At one point last season, he was out with a thigh injury for a while. Paul Pogba has endured 5 seasons at Manchester United since he rejoined, and he's won 3 trophies at the club so far. He's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. Mino Raiola, who is Paul Pogba's agent, he's been desperate to get Pogba out of the football club. Don't forget he's already held talks with PSG's president, but last season he did do a lot of talking. Back in December last year, Mino Raiola made an announcement regarding Paul Pogba. He said that Pogba's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of extending his contract. Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement. So that's more news on Paul Pogba. Now, I want to give you some more news on Raphael Varane. So, according to Fabrizio Romano, reports of Manchester United having a bid rejected for Varane are not true. Romano said that talks are still ongoing between Manchester United and Real Madrid. He did say the other day that Varane confirmed to Man United that he's ready to accept our contract bid. And Romano said yesterday, or was it the day before, that Solskjaer wants the club to keep pushing to sign Varane, because he did mention that Solskjaer admires Varane. TF1 said yesterday that there's an agreement in principle between Manchester United and Varane. Varane has agreed a contract with Man United until 2026, so that's a 5-year deal. He said Manchester United are just hours away from completing a transfer for Raphael Varane. Man United are willing to double Raphael Varane's wages in order to sign him this summer. Varane said he wanted his future resolved before he returned to Real Madrid training. I think we can get Varane for around €56 million. It's looking very imminent. He's going to be our second major signing of this summer transfer window. Man United had been given permission to approach Varane over the personal terms. Sky Sports mentioned that the other week. We received a massive boost in our pursuit of Varane, because it says Real Madrid's wages were forced to be slashed by 150 million. Not so long ago, Varane and his family were allegedly house hunting in Manchester. And he said Varane's move to Man United could have been delayed, because it said Varane would have been happy to wait another year for a switch to Man United. J. Felix Diaz said the other day that Manchester United have to offer more money for Varane or the deal will not happen. But yeah, Varane's departure from Real Madrid is imminent. Real Madrid offered Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. Varane's current contract expires next year. We went in for him 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We also went in for him back in 2018 because Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. Varane has been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them a good 10 years or so. He's won a lot of trophies, so reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree as a player. Made 360 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011, but he is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. Some people reckon though he's not as good as John Stones. But I can assure Varane will exceed expectations in the Premier League. You know, what a centre-back partnership that will be, you know, Raphael Varane and Harry Maguire, because they'll complement each other very well in our back line. Real Madrid not so long ago lost Sergio Ramos. He joined PSG on a free transfer. There's been a lot of midfielders on our agenda. Obviously, Man United are still in for Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes. We're obviously in for Leon Goretzka. Sport Build recently said that Man United have submitted a contract offer to sign Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich on a free transfer next summer. Saul Niguez, he's been another midfielder on our agenda. Not so long ago, Solskjaer called Saul Niguez, and Mundo Deportivo said not so long ago that Man United have been in advanced talks with Saul Niguez's agent, and he said Man United are the front runners to sign him. Ruben Neves, Man United are also linked with him. Man United have moved ahead of Arsenal in the race to sign Ruben Neves. Wolves are willing to sell him for £35 million. Solskjaer has made it clear that he wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window. And he did identify the areas where he wants to strengthen up. I'm expecting Man United to enjoy a very good summer transfer window because I am convinced that Solskjaer's going to get all the players he wants to recommend in. And it's about time he got the backing he deserves because he wasn't backed enough for such a long time. So far we have made 2 signings in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free transfer from Villa, and we brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Reports came out yesterday saying that the announcement of Jadon Sancho's transfer to Man United has been delayed by a minor issue. But an announcement is expected very soon. Jana Ajfortov said the other day that an announcement for Jadon Sancho is around the corner. Fabrizio Romano did say that the paperwork had been sorted between Man United and Borussia Dortmund for Sancho. And last week, Jadon Sancho completed his medical with Man United. Our board made it clear though that they'll back Solskjaer with summer signings and a new contract, despite that loss to Villarreal in the Europa League final last season. And before the summer transfer window opened, it said Solskjaer had been given a £150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. This summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. There is some players at Manchester United that are not good enough to represent the club. So I don't think Martial is good enough. I think Man United should offload him in this summer transfer window, but it looks like we're not going to because reports said that Martial is going to be staying at Man United for next season. But a lot of United fans want him to go. I reckon Martial's had 2 good seasons at Man United. He was good the season before last, and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Last season, Martial was out with a knee injury for a while. Martial has been at the club over 6 years now. He's under contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. I think he scored 78 goals for us in all competitions. And we got Martial in a deal worth £58 million from Monaco back in 2015. He did say at one point that Solskjaer wanted Man United to sell Martial because he become fed up of his poor attitude. Nemanja Matic, I don't think he's good enough to represent the club either. Analysing the vast majority of Matic's games, he's been inconsistent, but he's had some good games at Man United. I've got reservations about Matic because he's always been a static player and he's ageing up. Matic has been subjected to transfer speculation before, but I think Matic is going to be staying at Man United for next season. Matic has been at the club over 4 years now. Got him for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. To be honest with you, I don't think Fred is good enough for Manchester United, but he's going to be staying at the club for next season. But I'm very sceptical that he's got a long-term future at the club from now. We overpaid for Fred. We got him in a deal worth 52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Victor Lindelof, I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United. But don't think we're going to be offloading him in this summer transfer window. We obviously got Lindelof for 31 million from Benfica back in 2017. So there you go. But there is good players at Manchester United, and there's players that have really, really improved. You know, Dean Henderson, he's a good goalkeeper. I hope he's our number one for next season. Well, it's said at one point that Solskjaer chosen Dean Henderson to be our number one for next season. He's reliable enough anyway to be our number one because Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Plus, he's got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. David De Gea, I reckon he's still a good goalkeeper despite him making a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years. I reckon we should offload David De Gea in this summer transfer window, whether we do or not, I do not know. He recently said though that De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for a starting place. Well, De Gea said not so long ago that he's determined to fight for his future. He said he was set for talks with Solskjaer after the Euros. It said De Gea could be loaned out next season by Man United to make room in the goalkeeping department. If we was to sell David De Gea in this summer transfer window, I reckon we'd get from between 40 to 50 million. I think we'd get between 40 to 50 million if we was to sell him in January or even next summer. De Gea's had a good career at Man United. You know, he's been long serving, he's endured 10 years at the club, so he's been with us since the Ferguson era, and I reckon De Gea's had 8 good years at the 10 years he's been with us. De Gea is on £375,000 a week at Manchester United, and I think he's got just under 2 years left on his current contract. A few years ago, he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. He's won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions, and he was our number one for such a long time. Luke Shaw, he's also very, very good as well. He was our best player last season. Why? Why? COVID. COVID. I bet it's COVID. Someone's had COVID tonight. Must be. There's no other reason it would. I was just saying, yeah, and Luke Shaw did very, very well for England during the tournament. Still remains our first choice left back, despite the arrival of Alex Telles. And I think he's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Been at the club over 7 years now. Eric Bailly, he's a decent centre-half as well, but the element of concern about him, he's injury prone, so in that aspect he is a liability. Towards the end of last season he signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Bailly's been at the club over 5 years now, got him for 30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. Harry Maguire, he's a decent centre-half as well. He was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. I thought he enjoyed a good tournament though with England. We overpaid for Harry Maguire. We got him in a deal worth 80 million from Leicester, so he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club, behind Pogba. Axel Tuanzebe is a decent player, but we've made the right decision by agreeing to let him go because he seldom plays for Man United. The best game I recall Tuanzebe having was PSG. And Wan-Bissaka, good right back, but he's got to show more attacking intent, but defensively he's always been superb. And Wan-Bissaka is one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Bissaka's endured 2 full seasons at Man United. We got him 50 million from Palace back in the summer of 2019. I think McTominay is a decent player as well. McTominay certainly needs more time at the club. He's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. Can McTominay emulate that level where I want him to be at? Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United. Pogba, like I said, he's really improved. I think Donny van de Beek is a decent player, but I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Manchester United because he hasn't been given enough opportunities. I expected Donny van de Beek to play a hell of a lot more than he has done. Van de Beek's made like 36 appearances for us in all competitions, but most of them appearances have come from the bench. I recall Van de Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. He's only enjoyed one full season at Manchester United. Last year we got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax. He's under contract with Man United till 2025. And he's versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. Before the Euros, it said that Van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Ollie, and he got ruled out of the Euros anyway through injury. Barcelona have been linked to Van der Beek. It did mention there's 4 players that Barcelona could offer us as part of the Van der Beek deal. Inter Milan have been in for him as well. Real Madrid a few weeks ago wanted Van der Beek on loan as part of the Varane deal, and at one point Arsenal made contact with Man United over Van der Beek. Bruno Fernandes, he's also very, very good as well. Bruno Fernandes is our best player, and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Fernandes won Player of the Year, didn't he? And he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Fernandes has been with us now for over a year and a half. Analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he's been very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. But let's be honest, we have overplayed him. Fabrizio Romano said the other week that Man United are looking at a new contract for Bruno Fernandes. Said towards the end of last season we was willing to double Bruno Fernandes' wages to £200,000 a week. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Marcus Rashford, he's good when he wants to be, but I have actually got some reservations about him now. There's aspects of Rashford's game that's got to improve because he's endured his bad periods at Man United. And he has become injury prone as well, which is a concern. Rashford is going to be out until the end of October with a shoulder injury because he said he decided to undergo surgery on his shoulder. So he will be a big miss. During the tournament for England, he was a bench warmer. We need to keep Rashford out on that left-hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. Mason Greenwood, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. And Edison Cavani has made an impact since he's come in, so there you go. But the players that could leave Man United in this summer transfer window is Brandon Williams. I think there's a good chance that we're going to loan him out to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities because Williams seldom plays for us. He's our 3rd choice left back. Alex Telles, we could possibly offload him. He's been subjected to transfer speculation recently. It said Inter Milan want him on loan. The other week, Sky in Italy said that Roma were in talks to sign Alex Telles as a replacement for the injured Leonardo Spinazzola. Telles has only enjoyed one season at Man United, but he's hardly played. When we got Telles last year, I expected him to be our 1st choice left back immediately. We got Telles in a deal worth 15.4 million from Porto, and Telles is under contract with Man United till 2024. Phil Jones, he could leave in this summer transfer window. I hope we offload him. Diego Dalot, I'm expecting him to leave. He was out on loan with AC Milan last season. Andres Pereira, expect us to offload him. He was out on loan with Lazio last season. Like I said, Paul Pogba, we could be offloading him. So there you go. I initially thought Martial, Matic, Van der Beek and De Gea were all going to be leaving, but now it looks like they're going to be staying all of a sudden. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.